Trailblazer Kevin Holland, because we're falling
break
down
this
into
up.
a political rabbit hole there that we're going to piss some people off. Never mind that. We are joined by the one, the only, the Trailblazer, Mr. Big Mouth himself, fresh off a massive victory Saturday night, London's O2 Arena. Are you back home already, Kevin?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Next morning, I flew out pretty early.
Bro, what a fight. What a fight at the weekend.
It was a great time in London. My first time ever going overseas was China, was Beijing when I first got in the UFC. And I was like, man, I don't think I ever want to go overseas again. But after going to London, I'm like, I see what I've been missing out on. This is cool, man. So I'm looking forward to doing a little bit more traveling in my career.
That's awesome. Kevin, listen, now we know you're a guy that wants to fight as much as possible, right? You made that pretty clear. But is there a part of you that after the performance that you just put on Saturday, down at 170 pounds now, I mean, bro, you really, really looked good. I got to say, man, and I talked to you a little bit in the workout rooms beforehand where I got to see you warming up and kind of breaking that sweat before the fight. Is there a part of you that thinks, fuck, if I just dial in and stay in this weight class, like I can beat some really good contenders and make another run, right? And let me say, and especially off of people kind of starting to be like, oh, you know, Kevin Holland, he's had ups and downs recently, maybe kind of washing you off to think that you're not really a contender. How do you feel after this last one?
I mean, I feel good after the last one. Like, I mean, make no mistake about it. Like, I didn't finish, like, no disrespect to Gunnar Nelson. I think Gunnar Nelson's an absolute stud. But I didn't finish Gunnar Nelson. And I've always said that if somebody's been knocked out before, I can for surely knock him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially at 170 pounds. I'm a decent-sized guy at 170 pounds. I'm playing to my attributes at 170 pounds. And I hit like a dump truck at 170 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So I would have loved to get the finish. I was very close to it. Didn't get it. Probably should have followed up a little different going into the fight. Felder, I respect the hell out of you, man. I respect the hell out of Michael Bisping as well. But from the beginning of my career, I've had nothing but great interactions with Felder, and I've had great interactions with Bisping as well. But you've kept it so 100 with me, on, off the mic, just no matter what. You know what I mean? From talking about my pot smoking, which I normally don't let people do that. I respect the hell out of it coming from you, from the way you said it. And my stepfather used to always say, it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. And you always say things the right way to me and at the right time. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it's on the camera or off the camera. So it's like, if a guy like you is telling me, yeah, I need to stay at 170 pounds, you think it'd be good for my career? And it'd be nice to go out there and shut some people up who don't think I can do it. I like it when they say I can't do it, because then that makes me want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When they say I can do something, it's like, oh, well, I can do it. Why do it? Yeah, now I'm hungry. Now I'm hungry.
Well, I did a couple of post-fight shows, ESPN and TNT Sports, and I said the same thing on both. That version, Saturday night, Kevin, and I'm not just saying this because you're here, that you could be a champion at 170 pounds. Obviously, 185 guys are a lot bigger, a lot stronger, you know, and I'm not saying you can't compete with them, because you have done. You knocked out Jack Ray from your back, for crying out loud. But the way you went out there and dominated Gunnar Nelson, you say you hit like a truck. That right hand that you landed, holy shit. I don't think Gunnar recovered all fight from that. I think he was still dazed and confused.
Yeah. I agree. I think he was hurt. Even from the chipping from the bottom, I think chipping from the bottom with that thing sometimes sends people to another realm. They're not all the way gone, but they're for sure over there with the stars and the dangles, you know?
Let me ask you, I thought you were going to talk some shit there to Felder. I thought you were going to, I thought that's where it was going. I thought, we got some good stuff here.
I love Felder. Dude, I have nothing but respect for him. Like I told him in the back when I was doing some work, I said, fought James Vick back in the day. And, you know, it's like there's a guy around here that a lot of us, you know, look up to, made it there before us, you know, so you got to look up to a guy like that. And you and him, you know what I mean? Like I said, he came back talking about leg kicks, and it changed the way we fight around here. So, yeah, nothing but respect.
Yeah, dude. And let me tell you, Mike, I got to watch him in the workout rooms before they went to the arena later that night. And dude, just the way he was even working out in there, the way you were throwing your kicks, and you applied a lot of that stuff into that fight too. And we got to give a shout out to your one coach who almost took a flying knee from Kevin to the face that missed. But I'm telling you, he was doing it just to warm it up, and it went right by his face like that. And I was just looking at everybody like, oh my God. But dude, moving forward, is there anybody that you would like to fight in particular, or a few people? Like, are there any guys that you think, oh shit, this would be a fight that could cause some chaos and get you paid, right? And this is what you want to make. I know you want to make money. I know you're in this to build your life better. Who would you like to fight, Kevin? I know you're a guy that's fought so many damn people at this point. Does anybody stick out?
I don't think there's anybody at 170 pounds right now that would increase my paycheck. You know what I mean? Because I get paid pretty freaking hefty. A lot of people don't know that, but I get paid pretty hefty.
As you should, dude. When you step in and you fight the way you do every single time, I mean, good for you, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. But you know, it's like I'd like to fight anybody. I'd love, honestly, if I'm being 100% honest, no disrespect to him, because I think he's a hell of a fighter and it was a hell of a time fighting him. But I'd love to go in there and do it with good old freaking Stephen Wonderboy Thompson again, just because it was so fun the first time. I mean, I broke my hand and got my ass whooped at the end, but I had a blast. So I'd love to do that again, just to do it again. But yeah, if there's anybody else they want me to fight, you know, I'm pretty much down. I always wanted to fight Neil Magny just to stay active, because he's always been an active fighter, and just wanted to always see how that'd go. But I mean, I don't really have a super hit list or anything like that. I kind of like everybody at 170 pounds. So if I'm gonna be fighting somebody, it's just probably because I like the way they fight, you know?
Yeah, but it's all business, Kevin. Who gives a shit whether or not you like them? You're here to make money and make the most of this short career that you have. I was talking to, I think it was one of your managers at the airport. He's off to Germany, I believe, at the moment, about to secure a massive deal for you. He told me a little bit. He didn't get into specifics, but he told me like a little bit, and I was like, holy shit, man. I didn't know those kind of deals were available in mixed martial arts. Yeah,
it's a pretty good deal. You know, it should be able to help us in the DFW area a lot too, change the way things go, and it should be able to help me with like my whole sponsorship going forward. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I can't say too much about it, but I am pretty excited about it. Hopefully in the next week I can just go ahead and spill the beans and be like, but yeah, not just yet.
Let me ask you. So I spoke to a couple of people that did some interviews with you, and they were like, Kevin, like, he wasn't happy. He was kind of annoyed. And I know you just mentioned you didn't like fighting in Germany. At first, when you went out there, were you annoyed that you had to go to London? What did you think of London as well? Like, how was your fight week experience?
I had a blast, bro. We got on the trains and we went to, it starts with like a P. They said don't go over there or something like that. It's supposed to be a real
Paddington?
bad city, yeah. We went over there. It was the only place that had the hot sauce that I wanted. So we went over there and got some hot sauce and stuff. I had a blast. They had some food cooking on the alleyway. It just kind of reminded me of being back in Philadelphia, the streets with my dad's side of the family. So I had a blast out there. I thought London was cool from the moment I got there to the moment I left. It was a week where I didn't smoke weed. You know what I mean? I didn't smoke at all. You know, I didn't smoke a couple of days before I went out there and a little bit, stuff like that, listening to good old Felder over there from back in the day. And so I locked in for that. And so overall, probably a little agitated from that. But I was just locked in for the fight. I mean, when you're down 2 fights in a row, you know, 2 fights that you really feel like you should have won, you need to go in there and get a dub. And you really need to go get a dub in a big fashion. Was it a big fashion? In my eyes, no, but people like it. I love it. And I plan on doing a lot better on the next one. So just stay locked in, you know?
Yeah, man. And I see where you're coming from as a fighter, right? That you want to go out there and you want to get that big finish. But I'm telling you, I think what made people more impressed than anything was, you didn't get the finish, but you know how it is. When you're fighting really good guys, sometimes that can be tough to come by. You hurt him horrifically bad with that right hand. You're ground and pound to try to get the finish. If there was more time on the clock, you're getting that finished, you know what I mean? And you affected him for the rest of the fight. But your grappling, your movement, the way you handled moments really stuck out. I think that it made people people that have forgotten about you, that you are more than just a guy who talks shit in there when he's on the ground or grappling with people, and showcase that you are a mother effer who's got skills. You've got skills. And when you're at your right weight class and you're in a good headspace, you can get it done. I'm glad to hear about the weed stuff. And listen, it's from a guy who enjoys doing all that himself. It's just, if you can avoid it and have the gas tank, which you showed that you did in this one, you're a problem for guys. And Kevin, I got to ask you, like, what do you think it is about the fight that keeps you so relaxed? Like, how are you like that? I mean, there's so many guys that stress themselves to death leading into a cage fight, and you're a guy that truly just has a good time when you're in there. Like, what do you attribute that to? Like, how can you be like that under such stressful situations?
To me, fighting's just not really stressful. It's like it's weird too, because like growing up, nobody ever wants to read a book in front of the class and everything. It's like,
Yeah.
but I'm not the greatest reader in the world, but I can fight pretty damn good, and it's like I might always be the best point fighter, I might not always be the best wrestler, but when it comes to throwing hands and throwing feet and throwing elbows and just having a blast, I can do that. So if I'm doing that in front of a million, billion, trillion, doesn't matter how many people or no people at all, like it's the apex, I'm down. I love fighting. I love combat. It's like people always say, "Oh, you always go back to hunting." It's like I have a blast out there too. My boys see me out there. It's all smiles and giggles till it's time to shut up and go get the kill. And it's like I just love being around the violence.
Well, I was going to say, we love watching you fight, Kevin, as well. Everybody does. Everyone knows that when you show up, there's going to be, something wild, explosive, interesting happening. But you mentioned the hunting there. Tell us a little bit about that. What do you like to hunt?
Well, we're here in Texas, so coyotes and pigs are really big out here. Coyotes are always messing up the new cattle and, the deer that's going to come around and all that stuff like that. And got to try and stop that, especially since I got cattle myself. And then the pigs destroy everything. You think you're going to have a good time on your land until pigs come put big old crater holes in that thing. So then they're always destroying things around the neighborhood, and they're fun to just go out and hunt. But the first time I ever hunt was an elk.
Eat.
Yeah, I don't eat them that much, to be honest with you. I hunted. My first time I ever hunted was an elk, and we got to process that and eat that, and that was so fantastic throughout the year that it's like I always go out and get the good exotic game meats, and I love to eat those, and that's kind of like what my freezer's full of, and that's kind of how I live around here. My mom knows I'm not going to the store to buy no meat, and I got it all right there in the freezer already, so it's just kind of how it is. We buy nothing but the sides, and she's starting to get into planting and doing gardening and stuff, so I'm curious to see what the next 5 to 10 years could bring.
That's what we're trying to get into. The same here over here. But I'm not a hunter. I've never hunted in my life. We don't have guns in the UK. But Saturday night, just as I was walking out the octagon, you said to me 45 wins at 170. And that obviously brought my mind back to what happened with Rampage.
Yeah.
Is that what you were doing? What the went on with Rampage, man? Because that was a wild.
We had words on the phone, and I always said, I didn't want to keep talking on the phone. When I see you, we'll have a conversation. We had the conversation. It just happened to be on air. Just two men having a conversation. It should always happen face to face.
I mean, you're definitely that kind of guy. Yeah, you're definitely that kind of guy. You said some Philadelphia roots for you, Kevin?
Yeah, my dad's side of the family's from Philadelphia, so it's
how often do you ever get to go to Philly?
I don't go as much as I need to now that I'm an adult, but when I was younger, I went a few times, So,
oh, dude, you gotta come back, man. We got a gym for you. We'll get some training set up. We'll have a good time if you ever come to Philly, man.
Most definitely. I actually want to circle back there sooner than later. I just got my bike out the shop, and my uncle's out there. They always do a bike ride on their Harleys. So I'm going to shoot the bike out there, and I want to go get me a cheesesteak and some water ice while the weather's good. So
there we go. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We can work that out, man.
Brian, do me a favor. Can you play that clip that we showed earlier of Kevin and Gunnar Nelson? Because like when when you get a big knockout in the UFC and they say, "Look at the screen and just walk me through this." I would love to hear this from your perspective. Oh, look, here we are.
Yeah. So you want to know what I said right there, right?
I would love to.
Yeah. What were you guys chatting about there?
I think it's just the way that I told him, man, you're strong. I think that just made him excited.
Is he strong, Kevin? Is he a strong SOB?
Especially for 170 pounds, I fight a lot of big guys at 185 pounds, and I can say, man, this guy's big. This guy, he's heavy. This guy's strong. This guy's this. For 170 pounds, Gunnar Nelson is freaking ridiculously strong. And the way, dude, when we were in the back room, Travis Luter's my head jiu-jitsu guy. He's always been, like a father to me. So, Travis has these crazy shoulders, and that's just from years of doing jiu-jitsu. He's just built, like it's like an ape almost.
A gorilla.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's like when I went like this to Gunnar, it was like, oh shit, he has Travis shoulders. So from that right there, that moment told me like grappling with this guy is not going to be like one of those slow matches. You're going to have to move, or you're going to be smushed. I was like, 'cause he's no joke. So that dude's strong.
That's what I loved about your fight, though, Kevin, because even the times when you were on your back, you were the one attacking. You were the one landing the elbows, throwing punches, attacking like crazy with the triangles and stuff like that as well. I mean, you are a to deal with if someone's on top of you.
Yeah, I need to work on see what I'm doing wrong in MMA to secure that triangle a little bit more. I always get people there in a funky position where I can hold on and start smacking off with elbows and hitting hammer fists and stuff, which is good for my game because I'm so long and it hurts them. But I think there's a little slight mistake that I'm making where I can manage to start getting the triangle a little bit more. Now I like how I did reverse into the omoplata, and maybe I could fix that a little bit more too, where they can't stand up. But I mean, it's just little things to work on, and I'll definitely get back in the lab and fix those things.
But you did make some really sharp adjustments in there that we were talking about on the broadcast too, where you made sure he was trying to step over to nullify that the omoplata and all that, and you were on that. You got underneath, you went back around. I mean, if that's some other guys and not a guy that's as strong, as good as grappling as Gunnar is, I mean, you might secure that. You were stretching the legs out and pressing forward too, and there has not been many submissions with omoplata in the UFC. I'll tell you what, you'd have been making some headlines with that one if you could put a guy like Gunnar out with that.
I always hear they don't work, but I get to finish with them quite a bit. But I usually get to finish with the gi on, so I guess it's a little different without the gi. But you know, mistakes are made, and then it's like that's how you learn, and I'll get better. I've made a lot of mistakes in my career, and I think that's actually why I'm going to end up being so good.
And I think with Gunnar, the thing is with him, he's just so good at grappling as well. I don't think it's necessarily what you were doing wrong. I mean, straight away when you were going for the triangle, he was posturing up, looking at the ceiling almost, and just defending perfectly. Obviously, you're known for your crazy fight schedule. I think Gunnar had 5 fights in the span of time where you had 20 fights in the UFC. This is your second fight. We're only in March this year. Of course, you have the record for 5 wins in a single calendar year. How quickly are you going to be back in there?
You know, it's funny. I said that on the interview. I think I told you like July or something like that. I think I was just, I don't know what was going through my head. I think I had the months all mixed up, but it's like I can go a lot sooner than that. You know me. It's like I'm going to sit down for 2 weeks. I don't feel banged up. I don't feel bruised up at all. When I say sit down for 2 weeks, I mean like this week I'm going to chill. I'll start doing strength conditioning again at the end of the week. Next week I'll chill, and then once next week's over, I'll start getting back in the gym and actually getting to work again and stuff. But I'm going to go do some hunting. I'm going to do some motorcycle riding. I'm going to go enjoy my old school. I'm going to go enjoy some time with my kids. And after those 2 weeks are up, I'm pretty sure they'll get tired of me, and they'll need me out the house because I'm pretty obnoxious. So, you know.
And Kevin, speaking of just the weight class, right, and having fought so much at middleweight and 70 as well, what's the cut like for you to make 170 pounds? Is it a lifestyle change for you? Or is it just actually cutting the weight?
So it is a lifestyle change because I do have to be a disciplined athlete. So like I like to go out to eat. I like to enjoy myself. You know, I'm a single man, so I can go out to eat whenever the hell I want to. I can do a lot of things, you know. So, but when I'm getting ready for a fight at 170 pounds, instead of training once a day or maybe twice a day, I know I have to train twice a day. And then sometimes I need to get 3 times in a day. And when I say 3 times, that means I just need to get that sweat 3 times a day, you know? So whether that means going to do my heat retention in the morning or doing my heat retention at night. And then I have these meal plans that Charles gives me. Shout out to the Angry Dietitian on IG. And, you know, for the UFC, the guy's, you know, he's a guru. It just makes life easy. I say it's a lifestyle change, but it's just more so locking into the job.
Just being disciplined. Being disciplined as opposed to 85, you can probably get away.
Yeah, I still get to eat pretty freaking good. You know, it's like, it's not like I'm over here like, oh, I'm starving. I'm actually still enjoying myself. Instead of having, you know, cookies in the middle of the night, I just have a badass fruit bowl. And my fruit bowl is usually pretty freaking hooked up. I still put tahini on there and everything. So I'm not living a bad life. I'm just living a more like an island life. It's more fantasies, more like for a king.
It sounds like you're living a fantastic life, to be quite honest. You're going to spend some time with the kids. You're going to go hunting. And then in a couple of weeks, you'll be back in the gym getting ready for your next fight. I think that some people kind of misunderstand, Kevin, because, you know, you have fought so often. You know, I think some people think that you maybe approach this in kind of a flippant way. But it seems to me that you are doing everything you can. You respect this game. You understand the opportunities that it gives to you. And you are not flipping. You are 100% responsible and work your goddamn ass off.
Yeah. I mean, I do. I go hard, you know, and it's like, and I like to fight a lot. You know, it's like when I was younger, I didn't have any other outlooks on how to, like, you know, get my energy out and stuff like that. So it was just fight. And I look at it like a regular job. You know, my grandparents work hard, and it's like, if they work hard, why shouldn't I work hard? You know, and it's like, and I'm thankful for the fight checks and everything like that. They're super nice. They're really cool to have, but that doesn't mean that I shouldn't still go to work frequently. Doesn't mean that I shouldn't show up and I shouldn't be down to do things for the company that's helping change me and my family's life. So it's like I'm down to take the fights that people say those aren't good fights. Yeah, I'm fighting a guy who used to fight at 205 and have a belt there at a pretty high organization somewhere else, and I should probably be fighting at 175 pounds. And if they had a 165-pound weight class, I could probably make that too. But hell, I don't give a I want to fight and I want to do my job, so I'm gonna go fight this guy. You know? And
Does that take a bit of the pressure off, Kevin? Because I know exactly what you're saying, and you're man enough to say, "Well, I'll roll the dice. Let's see what happens." Does that remove a lot of the pressure?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really feel like when it comes to fighting, there's much pressure at all. It's like you want to find out how bad you are, right? Like I'm gonna find out how bad I am. Like there's guys that stay focused on their weight class and they get a belt, and then I'm like, dude, that's pretty cool. And it's like, I think that's dope. And it's like I just take every chance that I could get, and then we'll see what happens at the end of the day. It's like Michael Bisping, you've done that. You took every chance that you can get, and you still grabbed the belt. It's like wasn't a picture perfect career, no, but it was a perfect career because I got what all you guys were gunning for. So, kudos and tudos. If I get it, I do. If I don't, I don't. I mean, Anderson Silva had the belt for a long time. You still whooped his ass when you got in front of him. So,
knock him right, I did.
You know what I mean? So that's what the history books say. So that's what the matters. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, no matter how people look at it, it's like you've knocked out champs and you beat champs. You know what I mean? And you've also been the guy that go out there and fight no matter what. A lot of people can't go to their kids and say, "I'm not scared of no man." You can. I like to be that guy.
I love that.
Yeah. And do you think, does that frustrate you too, Kevin, when you look at the state of the UFC and kind of how guys do cherry pick and try to wait for the perfect matchup and they do this and that? And you look at it like, what are you doing? Like you get paid to go and fight. And like you said, and I think that resonates with me a little bit, where you're here to prove that you're the baddest dude. And to prove that you're the baddest dude, you got to fight dudes to do that. You know what I mean? You can't just be like, I'm the baddest dude. Well, but not that guy. I don't want to fight that guy. That guy's, I need this amount of time. I need that. I need this. And it's just like, you're probably sitting back going, just shut the up.
I do think it's wild, but I hear what Bisping on the Jon Jones thing. It's like, it's like, I'm going to stand up for him a little bit on this one. The dude's been around for a very long time and he's fought a lot of people. Tom Aspinall is an absolute beast. Jon Jones is the greatest to do it in his time frame, and now he's actually doing it in a different time frame. You know what I mean? This probably should be Tom Aspinall's time frame. If I'm Jon Jones, I'm gonna play it like a Floyd Mayweather. I'm gonna play it like how these old school boxers played it. I'm gonna play it as smart as I can. I'm gonna be the OG in the game. Yeah, we may not like it. Yeah, it may sucks. Yeah, we may want to see the fight tomorrow, but the older I get, the smarter I will play the game. And if I'm Jon Jones, I will do everything in my power to make sure that Tom Aspinall understands how powerful and how dominant I have been over the years and all the things that I have done. So by the time it comes for us to fight, you'll be so up in your own head. You'll be so up about how big my head is. It'll be rough. And, hopefully Tom doesn't fall to that. Hopefully Tom can stay who Tom truly is. And when the time comes, Tom can be that guy.
Do you think that's it too, Kevin? Do you think he's just...
He should. Yeah. I mean, if I was Jon, I would. You're fighting a young, hungry guy. Yeah. Take your time. Fight him when you're ready. Don't fight him when he's ready. Tom wants to fight tomorrow. Tom's frustrated. Tom's upset about it. It's like Tom's talking about, I will not fight another guy for interim. I mean, why not? You're the baddest in the world. Go knock out another guy. Shouldn't be nobody in the way from you getting your paycheck, and it should be nobody in the way from you doing what you do. Who cares if you defend the interim belt 5 or 6 times while this guy's waiting on the sideline? Then the whole world can't say nothing but that you're the champ, and when the other guy comes back, he should be happy he gets to fight you. Because at the end of the day, the baddest in the world will prevail every single time.
Hey, Kevin, I have said that exact same thing. I said it to Tom Aspinall when he said he didn't want to fight anyone. I said, "You're crazy. You'll beat all these other guys.
You're gonna beat him. Yeah.
Stack up the money. Keep making your case.
If I'm Tom, I want all the experience I can get. I want every freaking benefit that I can have going into a fight with a guy like that. I want the guy to be so scared of me instead of me having to be scared of that guy, that there's nothing that he can do. For me personally, I love when I'm on a hot streak. I love when I'm going. I love when I'm rolling. A guy like Jon Jones has proved that he can sit down for a certain amount of time and come back and still f somebody up. A lot of people can't do that.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't want to sit down on the couch for a long time and then come back and fight a supreme athlete. I'd rather be going, and doing my thing. It's like, that's just me. You see these basketball players that come back over after being gone for their season, and they come back and everybody's a little fat, everybody's a little chubby, everybody's moving a little different. I mean, when those guys are good and going in the middle of the season, they're the bomb. You know, that's where Tom should want to be. He should want to be not too beat up, but at the same time, not too far back. And it's up to him to decide how he wants to do it. This is his career. He's a dog, bro. I mean, look at his career. I mean, the only guy he lost to was Curtis, and he came back and he showed what was up with that. So whatever he wants to do, he should do. He's already a champ in my eyes. I think they're both sitting with bling around their waist and, and shit. Hey, they're heavyweights, dog. Big dick, big balls. Do whatever the y'all want to do.
Kevin Holland, one of the best analysts in the game as well. My God, have you ever thought about doing that stuff?
Man, I keep telling you, I'm a company man. Whatever you guys want me to do, I'm here for it,
Just don't steal my job, okay?
No,
people trying to steal my job.
I'll tell you what, you guys let me know when you guys don't want to go to work and you need somebody to fill in. I'm that type of guy. I got a couple suits sitting in the closet for substitutes.
Yeah, man, we'll have to put a word in. We'll have to get you on the desk to get you warmed up, get you in there, get a rep.
Yeah.
They're always looking to get fighters in to start them out on the desk and guys that are interested. So you just got to reach out, or we'll reach out for you. And tell them that if you'd be down to do it, I'm sure they could try to get you on a desk preview, to like doing a fight night at the Apex, and they'll put you on the desk kind of like Kamaru, or that's how everybody started out. It's just getting a feel for it.
Yeah, especially if I'm sitting next to guys like you guys. I mean, I think it's going to be a lot easier because then I can just
talk shop, man.
Guys are doing,
exactly.
Kind of piggyback.
Yeah.
It makes it so easy.
You already know the terminology. You already know the terminology. They'll say that in our ear. You got to piggyback. Paul, piggyback off this.
Yeah. I remember the first time I ever did it. It was at Fox Sports. And, you're in there, you're in a studio and stuff. And it can get a little intimidating. Jay Glazer walked in and said, right, everyone out, shut the door. He said, ignore the cameras. Okay. It's just me, you, and him. Pretend we're sitting at a bar talking about fights. Do you know about fights? Yeah, I do. Do you have a good rapport with everyone here in the room? Yeah, you all know each other. So ignore the cameras and just pretend you're sitting in a bar talking about fights. That's what people want to see.
As long as I get a 15-minute smoke break every once in a while and I got somebody rolling those Dutches for me, I'm good to go. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. Oh, God. Well, listen, Kevin, we'll let you go, buddy. Oh, Harrington, you got a question?
Well, yeah, just Kevin talking about rolling up the Dutches and the, the abstinence. I was just wondering, man, you said you took a decent little tolerance break before this fight. Did you break the fast in England? And if so, how bad is their weed over there, man?
I broke the fast in England, and maybe it was so good because it had me just completely gone. I mean, honestly, it didn't taste too much different than the weed at home. I mean, one thing about weed is everywhere. It's not hard to grow, and it's not hard to recreate. It's like you make weed off of love, and it's flower, and so it's from the ground, so it's not hard to do.
Hell yeah, man! Congrats on the win.
And plus, I'm easy to please when it comes to weed. I love weed.
On that note, we'll let you go, Kevin. Congrats again on the weekend. Pleasure talking to you. Seriously, that fight, you'd probably want to know this. I remember it was midway through the fight, and Dana came over, and he was bugging out. He's like, "This fight's awesome," and everyone felt. Cool. Yeah, no, it is. It is. Everyone felt the same way. It was a great fight, man. Congrats. Enjoy this moment.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that 100%, man.
Hey, thanks, Kevin. Hopefully we'll see you on the desk, my man.
Heck yeah, man. You guys let me know when you want me.
Right on, Kevin. Take care, bud.
All right, boss.
There he is.